Hello.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. My name's Tasmin. What's your name?
My name is Ahmed.
Pleased to meet you. And I am from London originally. Now I live in Australia. Where are you from?
I'm from Iraq.
Oh, lovely. And why are you learning English?
Because I'm English teacher.
Oh, okay, great. Um, so how long have you been on Cambly for?
6 months. 6 months.
Okay. And um, so what do you usually do on your Cambly lessons? You just have general conversation?
Sometimes to make conversation about daily routine, sometimes to about the grammar, sometimes about the slang. Let me ask you about the why uh, are silent letters important to know?
What for pronunciation, maybe? You say why are silent lessons? Silent, yeah.
Why are
Silent letters.
silent letters important to know? Yes.
Yeah, it's important to
Yes.
know silent letters so that you can ensure that you are um, pronouncing words correctly, and also know how some words might be spelt because it's not very obvious.
Mm. Uh, okay. The words with the letter silent letters, silent A. You should never pronounce the letter before L Y. Why should never spell the A before spell A before the double L Y?
Um, I'm not sure. What words are you talking about? Because there's a couple words here like Ali,
Like
Ali, or there's basically, yes, I see a, or basically,
basically, we don't
basically,
spell.
yeah.
Yes, we don't spell the letter A like romantically, artistically, logically, musically, like
Mm.
this. Why we cannot say or should never pronounce the A before the double L Y?
Um, basic, basically, it's just to ensure that
Mm.
you have the correct pronunciation. Otherwise, you'll be saying the wrong word. So you won't be communicating how you want to communicate, and you'll probably leave somebody quite confused. So, as a general rule, if it's a longer word and the word has LLY, then it's silent. So it wouldn't be correct to pronounce that.
Mm. Do you think English language is a complex language to pronounce?
Yes, there's lots of idiomatic rules. So rules that don't really have any. You can't necessarily learn the basics. Sometimes you just have to know. Um, you just have to know it, and so it'd be called like idiomatic. Um, and also there's another word as well for collocations. Yeah, idiomatic pronunciation, idiomatic collocations, and phrases that don't always fit into a rule, and you just have to learn it and just learn it as a block.
Okay. Do you think silent letters is important to save as a teacher?
Important to what was the question?
Do
Important.
you think silent letters important to me to know as a teacher?
Yes, definitely, to make sure that you can stop your students from making any mistakes with their spelling or pronunciation. Um,
Hmm.
uh, and see
Okay. Yes. Go ahead.
and teach them any rules that might help. For example, usually we don't say the A if the word ends in ALLY. If you teach them that, then they'll have the tools that they need to make sure they don't make any mistakes. And that's the same with like internationally. Nilly, it just goes straight to the NLLY.
Okay. What about the phonemics chart?
What about what? Sorry.
Phonemics chart.
The okay. Yes, that's great because when they type a word into Google that they might not know, they might not because when they're reading, they don't know how it's pronounced. So you'll end up saying knife instead of knife because you won't know the letter K is silent. So if they learn the sounds of the
Why
phonetic knife.
why letter K silent in this letter?
Yeah, KNIFE. Yeah. So in the word knife, the letter
Yes.
K is silent just because it's idiomatic. So in many other examples, you might find the K that is pronounced, but in this example, it isn't. That's why it's important to teach the phonetic sounds so that in the book they can read the phonetic sounds above the word, and then they know without being taught by a speaker that the pronunciation is actually knife and not knife if they learn those phonetic sounds. So it gives them more tools for individual learning.
Okay. The letter B is usually silent letter when it before T. Letter B silent
Subtle, yeah. Like for
silent
example,
before better T.
yeah, be silent before. So in the word subtle, for example, um,
For example, climb, lamb, dog,
yeah, many,
comb, dog.
yeah. So what is the silent more for T? So basically, um, there's quite a few rules where the silent B is where the B is silent in different situations. So if you learn those rules, then you can again have some more resources to be able to develop your students own learning and own reading. So
Okay.
the word subtle, for example, SUBTLE. Um, Copy and then YBSIA silent. See what it says here. So the B was later added. It says here uh, back in, so that spelling reflected the word's original Latin roots. So that could be some of the reason why we have these
Okay.
strange
Uh,
spellings.
is there a specific way or strategical way to improve the English language, like native speaker fast?
Um, yep. So do you mean you want to learn? Is it maybe your understanding? Because sometimes if people understand very
Spe-
well,
Speaking
yeah,
and understanding very well.
yeah. So if my students are very good with their speaking and listening understanding, but they want to get a very high level, then to be able to speak to understand the natural pronunciation, I would say watch fast paced movies and watch the English news. Sometimes the way that they speak and the language they use is much more complicated, or they use the common slang in the movies, or they have the accents. And if you can understand that without the subtitles, then you're going to be making progress. You can watch it with the subtitle without the subtitles, see if you understand the
I
idea.
use the I watch the sometimes BBC news, sometimes to understand, sometimes I'm not
Yeah,
understand.
Yeah, exactly, and that will help you. And then watch it with the subtitles after, and you can test yourself and see if you
Okay.
did
How much?
understand.
How much the